before we do, I think I need my power up. Okay. Don't you do it! Oh. This is probably like the worst I've ever played throughout this whole entire playthrough. Oh my god. Yeah. Alright, let's just do the boss and see what happens. Hello, my darlings, and welcome to a brand new episode of Girls Gone Mild. I'm really enjoying it to do this podcast every Wednesday. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. Not much to talk about today. We will be talking about my gameplay of Crash Bandicoot 2. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to be talking about how the Drag Queen Stole Christmas, since this weekend is opening weekend. We're in Tech Week right now. And then we're going to end this podcast by doing some bad comment reading. What I mean is, I did this in episode 2, where I went on YouTube and my TikTok to find the worst comments I've ever seen in my entire life. I figured I'd do a couple more this time, but only on my YouTube, because I haven't gotten a lot of bad comments on TikTok lately, because everyone loves me on TikTok apparently. But I figured we would end kind of in a positive way, just to read all the bad comments on YouTube. I probably won't read that much, but I will have my reaction after I read each comment. But other than that, I am exhausted, but I am here and I am smiling. So let's get this show on the road. Alright, so this week is opening weekend of How the Drag Queen Stole Christmas. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for all the people who are going to come see this. You can reserve your tickets. The number is in the picture. Tickets are $15. You can pay cash, and you can also pay in credit card if you want to. Excuse me. The address is also in the picture. Starla O'Hara, that's her in the picture as well. Isn't she beautiful? The first weekend's only on Friday and Saturday, December 3rd and 4th at 8 p.m. The second weekend is December 10th and 11th, which is also Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. And then the last weekend, we have a 3-nighter, which is December 17th, 18th, and 19th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And we also have a midnight show on December 18th. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for this one. But it's mostly because I get to be in drag and everything. I'm always doing drag when I make these videos or do this podcast. But I'm excited. This is a great cast. I feel like everyone has put a lot of effort into this. I always have to give a big shout out to Robert Joki, who's also known as Starla O'Hara, who's not only directing this, but also in this. I really love this show. It's a great show. I just am so grateful to be a part of this and continue my drag journey with a great bunch of people. Now, also, I don't know if I'm going to be performing this Friday. What I mean is, I usually do open stage night at Club Switch, which is always the first Friday of each month. I want to, but I do also work the next day. So I'm debating on that, but I think everyone's going to get a kick out of How the Drag Queen Stole Christmas. I think it's going to be funny. It's going to be dramatic. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you'll see a lot of guys are doing drag. Who doesn't love drag? um, but yeah, you should come out and see it. Uh, we work hard for this every year. Well, I mean, this is my first time doing the show, but I know Robert Jogi and the cast have always worked hard on the show every year, delivering the jokes, everything else. Um, so come on out. Like I said, you can reserve your tickets. The number is in the picture. The tickets are $15. You can pay cash or credit card. The address is also in the picture, and the dates are in the picture, and I have said them previously. Uh, but yeah, come on out. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything. I really don't want to go into detail of what we're actually doing in the show, so you're gonna have to come and see it. Just go see it. Bye, bye, bye. Okay. Now, as many of you saw this past Saturday, the playthrough is a go. It's going wonderful. Oh my god. I did say in the last podcast I was gonna do this, and I kept my word, and I did it. I'm not done with the game yet, but I believe since this past, I believe it was Friday when I started playing the game, and I just recorded part 4 this past Monday, so I am almost done with the playthrough. Um, I'm gonna finish it up tomorrow, and then we'll go from there, and then see how if it gets any better. Um, part 1 is up if you guys want to go see it. Part 2 will not premiere until December 4th, which is Saturday, almost around the same time I am performing How the Drag Queen Stole Christmas. Part 3 will be up December 11th, same time that I'm performing How the Drag Queen Stole Christmas. Then part 4 will be December 18th at 7, same time as I'm performing the last weekend of How the Drag Queen Stole Christmas. Um, but then we go to part 5, which that's not going to premiere until Christmas at 7. And I thought it would be a nice way to end the playthrough on Christmas Day, and hopefully it goes well. Um, but yeah, I gave you guys a little preview of what happened in part 2, what happened in part 3, and what happened in part 4 at the beginning of this podcast. I will say to you, part 2 went pretty smoothly. Um, that's all I'm going to say about that. Part 3 was irritating because, yeah, uh, which you'll see, but part 4 will be very, very interesting. I even told my coworker today. No, it was yesterday. I'm sorry. It was actually yesterday. I told my coworker yesterday that I recorded over 2 hours of gameplay for part 4. And the reason why I recorded so much is because I was dying so much, I got irritated, and it was mostly me making noises. It was no longer about talking. It was about finishing the damn levels to get the crystal and surviving everything. But unfortunately, I died so many times, I can't tell you how many times I died. It was just so irritating. I didn't even talk. I didn't even speak for like a good half an hour because I was just too focused in the game. I did trim it down. I did trim it down because I did not want to put the whole 2 hours of me playing this damn game because some of it was boring. And I wanted to keep entertaining you guys. And I'm sure when you watch the video, you'll find it funny that I got so mad. and most of the parts. Mind you, I have not played Crash Bandicoot 2 in a long time. I can't remember the last time I played it. I know the last time I played it was when I had a PS2, but that was like over 10 years ago. Now I know this is the remastered version, uh, but it still like has the same gameplay, still has the same level structure. It's just the graphics are way more advanced. I mean, obviously they had to change some of the death animations and other things because now it's supposed to be a kids game. I know it's because technically back then it was made for kids and adults, but now since we're living in a world where everyone gets their feelings hurt, that they have to tone it down a little bit. But I will say this to you: when you see part four, you will probably laugh. You will probably be like, "Oh my god, this guy sucks." Um, I think I trimmed it down to a point where it's like, okay, you guys can laugh at all of this, what I'm doing. Um, I won't go into more detail of how exactly it went down, but know that you'll see me die a lot of times throughout part four. I have died a couple. I have died a lot of times in part three as well, but not as much as part four. Not as much as to a point where it's like, oh my god, I just wanted to drop the controller and call it a night. Um, Maybe one day, if I'm up for it, maybe we'll do some lost footage in the future. Of maybe I'll put the whole 2 hour video gameplay in the future. Maybe not. I'll see how I feel about it. But it was interesting to say the least. But I know a lot of YouTubers have done this kind of playthrough before. Since the game did come out in 2017, which I do apologize. I thought it came out in 2019. It actually came out in 2017. So I apologize for that. And I know, like I said, I know a lot of YouTubers have done this gameplay through game. I can't even say it. Playthrough of this game before. But what's wrong with doing it 4 years later? Because I'm enjoying myself, and maybe I will do the third game. Maybe I will do Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped next, because I think it's just funny to watch me play this game and get irritated of why I suck. Now, mind you, in some of the parts there were some glitches. Um, Even I questioned how that happened. Uh, but I think it was a lot of fun, and I would appreciate if you guys could tell me if you enjoy me doing this or not. Um, because if you don't, then there's no point of me continuing it. But I do. But you guys always enjoy everything I do, so just don't be harsh like the guys who post bad comments on my YouTube videos. That's gonna be interesting to hear. Um, but but like I said, if you want to watch the previews again, just go back to the beginning after this podcast is over because I just picked the ones that were funny. Um, I try to make it entertaining for you guys. At the beginning of the playthroughs, not when I'm actually playing the game. That's when it's like I'm being serious and losing my shit. Um, but everything else is going fabulous, and then this is basically a good Christmas present for everybody, I guess. I'm pretty much doing everything now. I'm a TikToker, YouTuber, gamer, and a drag queen. I basically do everything. and I don't even ask for a dime. But get ready for part two, because it's only going to get better than that. Then we go on from there. That's all we can do. So, before I get to reading the bad comments on YouTube, I wanted to give out the big shout out of the week. I'm trying to do a shout out every week, every time I do a podcast, but this week's shout out goes to my good friend on TikTok, Little Bunny Angel. She's actually a big fan of my work, of everything I do. I am actually a big fan of hers. She creates some funny TikToks, but she's also very beautiful, and I think everyone should go follow her. If you want to follow her, if you have a TikTok, then look her up. Her name is Little Bunny Angel 666. Like I said, she makes some funny YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, TikToks. Um, but she's also a character. Like I said, I'm a big fan of hers. So go check her out. And furthermore, she was the one who I made the happy birthday video a couple weeks ago. She just had a birthday November 16th. So yeah, go check her out. She's a hoot. All right, so let's get into these bad comments. Like I said, I did this back in episode 2, so it's been a while. And people like to comment on my stuff. I have gotten a lot of good comments lately. Um, a lot of people love my singing. That's most of the comments I get now. Um, so let's find one right now. This one comes from Candace Hicks. Mind you, I'm reading the bad comments on YouTube. So this one comes from Candace Hicks, who just says boo with a thumbs down emoji. All I have to say is that's the best you could come up with. I know my stuff is not for everybody, but if that's the best you have, why even bother? Why even bother comment? I don't know. People are crazy sometimes. Um, Here's another one from Mr. Kennedy. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy. Are you the wrestler from WWE? Even though you haven't wrestled in what, over 11 years? Well, no one hears from Mr. Kennedy anymore. If you know what I'm talking about. If you guys even watch WWE or even do all that kind of stuff, you know who I'm talking about. Okay. Well, it comes from Mr. Kennedy. He just says cringe. And he says cringe on the video I posted on YouTube where I think if you guys seen it, it's my demon video, which I'll share when this is over. Yeah. Sometimes people just say stupid stuff. Here's another one. This is coming from. I can't even read this person's name. Carmenara Demke. Well, anyways, this person says, "Someone come get your mama." Leave my mom out of this, man. Not cool. My mama doesn't need to know what I'm doing. So shh. Aye. Here's another one. This one comes from Ice High Official. Nice name, dude. He says, "Is boy not girl this bad?" And 5 thumbs down emojis. I don't know what to say on that one, to be honest. I don't know what to say on that one. I will read this comment because this really made me laugh. Um, this one comes from Michaela Lynch. Um, she posted this comment 2 months ago. She said she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. And then 2 laughing emojis. When I saw this comment, it just reminded me of Kevin Hart. You know, the no, she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. That's what it reminded me of, and I laughed at it because I just thought it was funny. That's not a bad comment. I just thought it was funny. I just wanted to share it with you guys. Let's find another one. I hope everyone's enjoying their Wednesday evening. I know I will be when I have rehearsal. Ba, 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 ba. Hmm. Um, I wouldn't say this one's a bad one. I know there was more. Give me a second. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Okay, let's see. I actually have to go on my videos to see. Oh, here's one. I can't even read this guy's name. Maybe it's a girl. Alana Stander. He or she put this, geez, guys, don't be mean, but I agree. Well, here's my thing about that. If okay, so you basically are saying that you don't like how they're being mean to me, but you agree that they're being mean to me. Dude, you just made yourself look like a jackass. Just say you agree instead of saying, guys, don't be mean. Because you're not helping the cause at all. Now I'm more offended at you than everyone else. Because that just tells me you're a two-face. Meaning you play both sides. Not cool, dude. Um, so I'm gonna be harsh on you. I know in the past I haven't been harsh on the other guys who've given me mean comments, but I'm being hard on you because that's in the end that's not cool in my book. Just say you agree and be done with it. Because I just like I said, you just made yourself look like a jackass on here. But I'm not deleting your comment. I'm gonna keep it on here because everyone needs to know who you really are. Um, we're moving on. Let's see. Maybe I'll read like 2 more or something like that. I mean, most of them are just like giving me death stare emojis. Um, I wonder if there's anything. I will say I will. You know what? Why don't we move on to some positive comments because I can't find any more bad comments. This one comes from Nervita on YouTube, saying that these comments are so mean. Dress and look however you feel confident and happy. Don't listen to these guys. You are beautiful in your own way. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, Here's another one. I'm just going to spell it out. RNNSIGE said, "You look fabulous. Thank you, darling. I appreciate that." Let's Let's read a couple more, then we're going to close out this podcast. Let's see. Oh, here we go. We have a couple here. Ashley Newberg said, You're so good. Keep singing. Thank you, darling. Ronald Janelle said, You're so good. Keep it up. Singing wise. Thank you, darling. I love that. You know what? Let's read this one because this actually came from my good friend, not Brend. Came from my good friend, Brianna Ritchie. Now, she commented on the video I made called Enough, which, mind you, I showed the video at the end of last week's podcast. For those of you who don't know, I am no longer invited to go to my grandfather's wedding. I keep saying that. I'm sorry. Funeral. My grandfather passed away. He's not getting married again. I keep saying that. I don't know why I keep saying it's my grandfather's wedding when it's his funeral. Okay. I'm no longer invited to go to my grandfather's funeral because I am being too honest. And certain members of my family do not like that, and because of that, I am no longer invited, and I am now no longer a part of the family in a way. That's how I see it. And it was a long time coming. It had to happen sooner or later because I just felt like I put up with so much of their bullshit and they just didn't accept me for where I was. And I think, it started with me having my learning disability. And because I had a learning disability, that they just claimed that I was just stupid. And that's one of my biggest things. I don't like being called stupid because I fought so hard to not be called that. I worked so hard to get where I am. I'm a smart guy, and nobody should ever feel like they're dumb. And that's what they always made me feel like. But as time goes on, they treated me fair because my dad was around, and my dad was a big supporter of my work and everything I did. But then when he passed away, it all went downhill, and I think that was the beginning of them basically kicking me out of the family. And then after my grandfather passed away, it was basically the final straw that went down. I just didn't want to put up with it anymore. I'm 28 years old, gonna be 29 next Tuesday. Yes, next Tuesday, December 7th, is gonna be my birthday. I shouldn't be putting up with the verbal abuse anymore. It's time. It's time to move on. It's time to let go of what the extra baggage, pretty much. But that's why I made that video. That's why I made the Enough video, because it's not only for me, but it's also for people who are suffering the same thing. It's okay to let go. It's okay to be happy. You don't need to have anyone's approval. You don't need the people in your life who are not going to support you. But she saw the video, my friend Brianna Ritchie. She saw the video, her comment, and I really loved her comment. She says, That's so sweet. You're amazing and are perfect. I hope you find some peace with your loss, and sorry you lost a loved one. All the love and good vibes your way. She sent out some heart emojis. I just want to say I love her very much. She's a really good friend of mine. I'm glad her and I stayed in touch. We did go to school together. She was in 1 year of high school with me, but then she kind of dropped out. But that's none of my business. That's not my business to tell on here. But she's a true friend. Um, I appreciate her, and I just adore her very much. But that comment of hers really touched my heart. because she knows some of the stuff that I went through with the family, and I'm grateful that she's still my friend after all these years. So yeah, um, so I thought I'm gonna try to like do this bad comment reading probably every couple episodes because I want to at least try to keep this alive. Um, Still planning to have special guests starting next year. Um, Hopefully, I can make that work in everyone's schedule because I would like to get Robert Jokey on this podcast. I would like to maybe get one of my good friends Ryan and Joshua Lyle on this podcast. I would like to get Hannah Pasco on this podcast. I'd like to talk talk about her journey. Um, yeah, so I have to start creating a list of who I want on this podcast. But yeah, I think that's probably pretty much all we're going to talk about tonight because, got Tech Week of How the Drag Queen Stole Christmas, so it's like not really much talking this week. Um, Hopefully, you guys are, like I said, enjoying your Wednesday evening as I am. I hope everyone stays healthy. I hope everyone enjoys their Christmas season. And I hope Santa gives you all the presents in the world, even though we're only 24 days away from Christmas. Um, so, just want to say I love you all and continue this adventure with me on my playthrough of Crash Bandicoot 2 and see all the fun stuff I do on TikTok. And yeah, and come see How the Drag Queen Stole Christmas. I'm excited. You should be excited. Get your tickets now. Make the call. Reserve them. Go. Bye. 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 Yeah. Do it now. Love you all. See you next week.